Hi there. Welcome to the closing bell yet again on the 25th of January. Hope you're doing something on the Australia Day long weekend. I'll be down at Wye River camping with my boy, listening to him complain as he wakes up in the heat in a tent and listening to the birds, hopefully. It's going to be good fun. Now, today I do have a bit of a present for you for watching today. I've got something that I think is turning up and looking pretty interesting. But before we get into that, I do want to have a bit of a chat about what I do, really. Do you know what I do? I don't know. A lot of you watching this, of course, are my members of my different services, but perhaps you're not. And this is why I do the closing bell, of course. You know, I've been throwing out different ideas for you over time. Hopefully, you've been watching for a while. It's not your first time. You may remember that I threw out Roblox recently. That was at 52 bucks. Where is it now? Up at 67, and that's in 3 months. So up 30%. And that was given just to you guys, to people watching Closing Bell for free. And I know a bunch of you got on that. Some of you bought options. You'd be killing it, I imagine. One guy bought April options, I think. And let me know about it in the comments. I love to hear if I've been helping you out. Also, I've told you about some of those companies with US exposure recently. Breville Group, for example. I think QBE, did I throw them out as well? They're all flying higher. I think I gave you Breville around 30 bucks or something. It's up at 38. So there's been plenty of good stuff I've been giving you here. And really, it's just showing you what I do, how I go about things, as I've shown you, looking for mean reversion, looking for opportunities where prices are going to go back to the middle of a range or whatever. And I use that opportunity to take part profits and create what I call that free call option, where the only outcome is you break even or make money. And look, I do this with investors who are, pretty serious about what they're doing. I'm not doing this for the punters. If you like having a punt, it's all a bit of a joke. I'm not the guy you want to follow. But if you do take it seriously, with a long-term view, what I'm using are trading techniques learnt over many years, starting on the futures floor, as a young kid with Swiss Banking Corporation and Bankers Trust and using those trading techniques to get into investments. So it's using solid risk management techniques to get into long-term investments so that the volatility of your portfolio over time is less and that you're moving quickly to a point where you're, either going to break even or make money, which means you can sleep easier at night. That's really what it's about for me. And I'm pretty proud of my results over 5 years. These are the statistics of what I've done for my members, and you'll see them what they've actually said in a minute. But over that time, 5 years, there's been 88 trades, 54 have been winners, 34 losers. So that's a 61% strike rate, which is pretty damn good in anyone's book. And you make twice as much on the winners than you've been losing on the losers. So it's been a 46% average gain on the winners, 23% average loss on the losers. Now you add that up over time, that is a really solid strategy. And the numbers are, if you had 100 grand, you invested it at the start, late 2018 when we kicked off, uh, the average annual return over that period has been 25%. If you risked 2% of your capital only on each and every trade. So that's sort of my 2% rule, only risk 2% on one position. So over that time, without taking wild risks, not trading aggressively, just every now and again when something really crops up that's interesting, and having this risk management process where you take part profits as quickly as you can because of mean reversion and then run it knowing that you're going to break even or make money, and then take part profit again at another stage when you're really in the money so that you're going to make money or make more money. And I'm doing that. The average annualized gain has been 25% over 5 years. So that is pretty good going. And I'm going to show you just now all these emails I've just received this week. from my members so that you can see exactly what they're saying about what I'm doing. I think why listen to me? I think it'll be better for you to listen to what they're saying. And then I'm going to give you that present, have a look at the markets quickly and show you a sector that I think is on the verge of taking off again. Before we get to the charts, I'd like to invite you to have a read of a document I put together for you. This is going to outline for you really the major things that you need in place to become a consistently profitable investor. You will have a lot to learn if you've enjoyed what I've been talking about here. Seen a couple of the trades go really well. My calls on the Aussie dollar getting hammered, the US dollar flying, the bond market selling off, leading into Trump. If you've been watching all of that and interested to know how I do it, how I go about it, how I make money for my members and have done so, then please just read the document. You will definitely have a lot to learn by having a squiz at that. It should pop up in the video right now for you. Click on that, and then you'll go to a section. Just click on the top document you see there, and that will take you through to it. So I hope you enjoy that. So let's just jump to the charts. So first up, just wanted to show you Roblox again. After I gave you that idea recently, after the good results, you'll remember I was, explaining everything to you about these long-term ranges and how they sort of play out. Lots of oscillation around the midpoint, and then once it's ready to go, it can really blast off like a Coke bottle getting shaken up. And we had some good results came out, and I gave that to you around 52 bucks here and said, this looks like it's ready to go. And 3 months later, 67 bucks, up 30% in a straight line. So hopefully you got on that at the time. And do you remember from a year ago, just to show you this, this is only 3 months, but this is what can happen over a long period of time. I gave you this trade exclusively in closing bell uh, only about a year or so ago, just a bit over a year ago. This is Spotify Technologies, and longer term watchers of Closing Bell will remember this one, where I gave you again. I keep trying to teach you these things. Massive wave, everyone gets their positions on in there. Then you get the clear out of positions, lots of stop losses going off when prices fall below the major low. And then if prices can turn back up and rally, you're starting to get interested. Long-term trend turns up. And that's when I sent the video to you around then, sort of just around mid last year. Sorry, mid 2023. That was at 150 bucks was the price. And here it is up at 500 bucks. So that was one exclusive trade for Closing Bell people. That is not a bad result. And I'm really hoping a few of you still remain in that one. So I just wanted to really quickly show you what people have been saying about what I do. I'm not going to make you read every one, but I want you to notice, I mean, you can always pause the screen and have a read of each one, but I want to show you just how many I've received just this week. Have a quick read of what they're saying there. And again, you can just pause if you want to have a read. These are all members of Retirement Trader who've been with me for years, and some shorter term. Obviously, each different color is a different person. We've got the name over to the right here. They've given us permission to show people what they've said. And in the end, I was pretty blown away by what everyone said. And you can obviously make your own time. There's so many that I'm not going to make you read all of them right now, but just get a sense of how many people are actually doing pretty well out of what I'm doing at the moment. And again, just to take you all the way down to the bottom, show you how many you can see getting to over 81 customers now who all wrote in this week, letting me know how much they're enjoying what I'm doing. So, um, you know, it really can work out in that Aussie stock trading using this strategy. And currently, we've got what 13 positions, 11 of them well in the money at the moment. But moving on to the markets, and this is my little present for putting up with all of that. I really do hope you can have a read of that document I put together. It took me bloody ages to put together, and I really do think it's going to be useful for you. But here is what I think is ready to go in the markets. Uranium is starting to move again. And this is URNM, which is the ETF, Exchange Traded Fund, of uranium, the biggest uranium producers in the world. It is actually a position already in Retirement Trader. We actually bought it all the way back here, then took part profit on the way, creating the free call option, and have been holding on. And I've actually bought it a bit more in this area. But that's just to let you know, be open about what we're doing. And um, looking at this URNM, you know, I've been keeping an eye on it. You know, it has been sort of stuffing around for the last few months, but really, if you look at the long term, you know, if we look at this trend like this, you know, it's all pointing in the right direction, I think. Um, and if I'm just looking at the most recent wave, you know, that I have a look at that wave and consider the areas where I'm interested. So you've got this sort of buy zone area there, which is a 75 to 87.5% retracement of that wave. Then you've also got the sell zone, which is a mirror image on the upside. And, you know, again, if you just look at what's gone on, we had a fall. Where did that go back to? The point of control. Then prices leapt up into the sell zone there. And then we had a big sell-off. That's where the big clear out happens. Everyone who's been buying all through here um, all got panicked and dumped their position here to the professionals. And so we've had the retest of that buy zone area. You can see there the reversal created a buy pivot. So there's the lowest price candle there, a monthly close above the high of that candle. There's your monthly buy pivot. So there's signs of things turning around. We've still got the long-term uptrend. There's that red line, the 10-month exponential holding above that 20-month simple. It's all still in long-term uptrend. We've got the monthly buy pivot, had a bit of work done the last few months, and here it is starting to turn higher. So I think uranium is the one that is looking interesting to me. Also, copper is starting to pick up. But these as a long-term play, I think ultimately the next year or two, you're going to see this thing heading higher. And look, you know, where do you get out? Where are you wrong? I think there is probably still a chance we could see something like that, you know, a little shakeout. So you wouldn't want to be shaken out too easily. But you know, if you're buying it up around say $9, you know, you might have a stoppy underneath that low. What's that? $5. Nothing wrong with that. And probably accumulate more on weakness. But that's a bit of a long-term play. Getting long uranium, I think there's another chance to get in. People thought they missed out a while ago, but I think that's looking all right. So just quickly on the US dollar, the first thing to really note is how strong gold is while the US dollar has been strong. Usually that's a bit of an indication that there's possibly a lot more upside to come. From that point of view, you know, I think those smaller gold companies that have been lagging with the Aussie dollar gold price really flying, a few of those are looking pretty interesting. Just a little tidbit to throw out. Have a look at RXL. Have a read about them. They're sort of looking interesting at the moment. But then onto that US dollar, I really want you to be prepared for anything going forward. Does Trump want the US dollar really strong? Does he really want it flying higher? He wants the deficit to be the trade deficit to go, doesn't he? Not to increase. And a stronger US dollar is probably going to be counterproductive. But will his tariffs just have the result of the US dollar getting stronger? That's the question. But right now, I just want to show that setup for you that of what the conditions need to be for us to change tack and say that, well, it actually might be a weak US dollar. And maybe Trump's going to come out and do a deal and say that he wants a weak US dollar because that's what will balance things up for him. So the setup is there for this US dollar really to either, as I said last week, really break out and go nuts, or quite a serious reversal up here because it's sort of up in nosebleed levels. So it really is an important thing to watch. And right at the moment, you're saying the long-term trend's up and everything's up. So I'm totally bullish on the US dollar for now, uh, but I'm well aware that things can change rapidly. I'm going to show you the weekly chart. So I just wanted to show you the way this thing's moving, where you've got these waves, and again, you're seeing those midpoint. And this is a corrective wave here. And again, you've got that midpoint around which prices are oscillating. And here's a corrective wave again here. There's your midpoint around which prices are oscillating. And just notice those buy and sell zones that I talk about, the areas where prices can reverse and change direction and head back to the midpoint. So this is where I want you to start seeing these things, where these opportunities turn up, where once you've got that wave set up, you've got these areas where prices reverse and things go back to that midpoint over and over again, here again, up into the sell zone, back to the midpoint, down into the buy zone, and then that was the beginning of this next leg. So here we are here with similar conditions where we're looking at this wave structure here. There's your midpoint. Here's your buy zones where prices have been bouncing out of, showing you that. And here we are up in this area here, like nearly, I think we probably will get up in there. So just compare these things here, these moments. See how similar they are, where you've got that wave structure and then you've got the move where it looks like it's about to break out, but reverse, no, bang, all the way back to the buy zone. Looks like it's going to break out, it doesn't, reverse back to the buy zone. So just think of that could actually be our future. And what do we need to see to get ready for that? Because imagine what happens to commodities, to gold, if it really takes off, if US dollar gets smashed from here. So I just thought I'd give you something to keep an eye on. Uh, for me, the weekly trend is going to be the one I'll watch. And reason being, it sort of has been a good early signal in the past. And, when things are going to continue, it often doesn't turn. So going back in time again, when we're up in this area where it's looking like it's going to break out, it's once that weekly trend turns down, the 10-week exponential below the 20 simple. And again, same thing here. There's the area, there's the trend shift, watch out. So here we are, we're up in this area. It could just continue, so it could be like this moment here. But you see, in that moment, the trend didn't change, did it? It stayed going up. So that weekly trend stayed true. And here we are here. The weekly trend is up, looking great. I'm bullish, saying yes, it can keep going. It could actually just fly through there, and totally prepared for that. But if we see the weekly trend turn down rapidly, from this spot, I will say, well, whoop, watch out. We could be in for a really quick reversal here. And so that's the setup for us. We don't need to do anything. Stay bullish the US dollar until that weekly trend actually turns down. And that will, yeah, be a real linchpin for the whole market for so many things going on over the next few months. And Trumpy is just putting his feet under the desk. So let's not, yeah, try to second guess him and what he's about to do. So that's it for today. Hopefully, pretty short and sweet. I've shown you uranium as a possible idea for you. I think that isn't a bad one to have a think about, as there is a bit of buying about, and it's been pretty steady and strong. And I've also shown you what I'm about. I've shown you what my members of my services are saying, people who've been with me for years. I've shown you the results, what I've been able to achieve, and I've been giving you some pretty good trades over the last few months. So you should be able to see what I can actually do. So in that case, all I ask is that you have a read of the document that's popped up just in the right there. Click on that link, go through and have a read. And I assure you, once you've read it, you will certainly have learned something about getting on the road to consistent profitability as an investor. So that's it for this week. Thanks for listening. I shall come back next week.